Have you ever noticed that the wisest people, they all seem to have this hidden quality? It's not really about what they know, but more about how they hold that knowledge. It's kind of like a quiet superpower, right? It keeps them from getting arrogant and makes sure they stay open to the world. So, what is it? Well, you might think it's about having all the answers, but actually, it's the exact opposite. The wisest people aren't wise because they know everything. They're wise because they're totally aware of how little they actually know. And that key, that secret sauce, it's a quality called intellectual humility. And right at the heart of intellectual humility is something you probably wouldn't expect: doubt. Now, hold on, I don't mean the kind of doubt that freezes you up or tanks your confidence. No, this is the good kind. The kind that actually opens your mind and keeps you focused on what's true, not just on protecting your ego. Believe me, it's a total game changer.
But let's be real for a second. Our world doesn't exactly throw a parade for doubt, does it? In fact, we tend to be drawn to the complete opposite: absolute, unshakable certainty.
I mean, just think about it. When someone speaks with total conviction, they sound impressive, right? They sound confident, strong, like a real authority. And that unshakable vibe, it attracts people. It makes them seem powerful. We're pretty much conditioned from day one to see that kind of certainty as a huge strength. But here's the catch: that rock-solid certainty, a lot of the time, it's just a mask. It's really a defense mechanism, a way to dodge the messy, uncomfortable truth of how complex things really are. It might feel safe in the moment, but underneath, it's actually incredibly fragile. And this is where the hero of our story comes in. An unexpected one for sure. Constructive doubt. It doesn't need to be loud or show off. It has this immense, quiet power all its own. So, we really need to reframe how we think about doubt. It is not a sign of weakness or insecurity. Far from it. Think of it as the engine of curiosity. It's that quiet little voice inside that keeps you open, keeps you honest, and keeps you ready to actually learn something new. See, this kind of doubt isn't aggressive at all. It's actually a really calm, humble admission. It's just you acknowledging, hey, my perspective is probably limited. There's almost certainly more to this story. And that right there, that is the essence of humility. Think of it like this. On one hand, you have certainty, which just slams the door shut on any new information. It makes everything about being right. But on the other hand, you have doubt. And doubt? It props that door wide open. It creates this space where truth can actually get in. And that allows you to grow and update what you believe. Seriously, let that sink in for a second. Doubt isn't the enemy of clarity. It's the partner that makes sure your clarity is actually based on reality and not just your own biased assumptions. It's like a crucial system of checks and balances for your own mind. Okay, so I know what some of you might be thinking. There's this common fear, right? That if you embrace humility, you'll just seem, I don't know, indecisive, passive. But the truth is, intellectual humility actually makes you profoundly stronger. And the benefits are real. They're tangible. For one, you learn way faster because you're always open. You judge people less because you start to see the complexity in their points of view. New info doesn't feel like a threat to who you are. It just helps you refine your understanding. And you're not embarrassed to say, you know what? I was wrong about that. Here's what I think now. Now that is real strength. And that really is the fundamental shift. Your goal isn't to defend your current position anymore, not at all costs. Instead, your main motivation becomes the pursuit of wisdom. And trust me, that is a much more rewarding and way more expansive journey to be on. Okay, so this all sounds great in theory, right? But the big question is, how do we actually do this? How do we cultivate this mindset in our day-to-day lives? All right, let's get practical. So what does it actually look like? Well, intellectually humble language sounds like saying things like, hey, I could be wrong here, or what am I missing? Internally, it feels like curiosity in open space, not like you're being attacked. And the behavior that comes out of it, well, you get better decisions, way less conflict, and a whole lot more personal growth. All right, here is a 5-step roadmap for you. Step 1, hold your beliefs lightly. Think of them as tools, not prisons. Step 2, separate your identity from your ideas. You are not your opinions. Step 3, actively seek out evidence that disproves what you believe. Yeah, I know, it's tough, but it's crucial. Step 4, when you ask questions, do it to understand, not to score points. And finally, step 5, Use doubt as your compass, pointing you toward truth, not as a cage that traps you.
Now, all of this leads us to maybe the most powerful and, honestly, counterintuitive idea of them all. There's this beautiful paradox at the very heart of intellectual humility, and it's going to completely flip how you think about confidence.
It starts like this. The more you welcome doubt into your life, the more unshakably confident you actually become. I know, that sounds totally backwards, right? But it makes perfect sense once you realize where this new confidence is coming from. See, your confidence is no longer attached to this fragile need to be right all the time. Instead, it's rooted in something much stronger: being open, being adaptable, and being honest. And that kind of confidence, it can't be shattered when someone presents new information or a different point of view. It's truly resilient. So, as we start to wrap this up, I want you to think about intellectual humility not as some finish line you cross, but as a lifelong practice. It's a way of moving through the world that's both incredibly powerful and, honestly, pretty peaceful. There's this amazing synergy at play. Doubt is what expands your mind. Humility is what expands your wisdom. And when you put them together, well, they expand your entire life. They create this pathway to richer learning and much deeper understanding. So I'll leave you with one final thought to carry with you. What if the bravest thing you could possibly do isn't to always stand your ground, but to have the humility to revise yourself? To just keep growing, keep learning, and keep becoming an even wiser version of the person you were yesterday.